Hey all of you, hope you guys are great. So in the last video we have completed our entire cart component. If you haven't watched that, I'll link in the I button in the description so you guys can follow it. In this video we're going to work on our next component. So here I'm into the project. You can see everything is working fine. So now we're going to start working on our footer component. So let's open this one, and that's what we're going to work on it. So here we are in the footer component. Now we have to import couple of things. So we have to import our React. Then we have to import so we have already installed the entire React library, icon library, and that's what we're going to import, all the icons. So this is coming from the react/icon ri. Then we have to import the other icons. This is called TL social Facebook, then TI social LinkedIn, then TI social Twitter, then TI social YouTube, and then we have TI social Instagram. And these all icons coming from React icon/TI. Then we have to do the internal import. We have to import our style file, that's coming from the same directory. Then we have to import the logo component because we have to display our logo in our footer down below. So that's what we need, and that's coming from index. Now we work on the footer. Now we work on the logo component. So we'll say const footer, and we're not going to receive any props in this. Let's take a variable list because we have to display the menu. So we'll say menu list, home, about, product, contracts, ICO, membership. So these are the menu we're going to take it. Then we have to take it this JSX. We'll take a div, it will have a class footer. Inside that we're going to take another div, it will have a class called style footer box. Inside that we'll have a div, it will have a class called style.footer box social. Inside that we'll have an anchor. Inside that we're going to display our logo, footer box social logo. Then we'll close that one. Here we have to take a paragraph and we have to display some dummy text. So we'll say social info, and we'll display text: the world first and largest digital marketplace for crypto collection and non-fungible tokens, NFTs. We'll close the paragraph tag, and then we have to simply take a div. It will have a class called footer social. In that we have to display all the icons. We'll this href, and we'll display the first icon, T social Facebook. Close this one, and we have to repeat this process couple of times. So we'll say href. This time we're going to display our T social LinkedIn. Close this one. Then we have to display our third icon. This will say T Twitter, and the last one is going to be our YouTube. So let's take an anchor tag, href, and this will be our YouTube icon. YouTube icon looks good. Close, take another one, and here we have to display our Instagram icon. So we got all the icons, and now we have to simply close our div. Now come back, we have to close the div. Then we have to take a div, it will have a class called fonter box help. In that we have to take h3 called help center sorry. Then we have to take a div, it will have a class called menu, and here we have to render the menu we have created. So we'll take this menu list map, and we're going to simply render on it. So we'll take a p tag, it will have a key, an element, and then we have to simply close this dynamic block. So that looks fine. Now we have to close the div. Then we have to come here, we have to take a div, it will have a class called style subscribe, and here we have to take a h3 called subscribe. Then we'll take a div, it will have a class called style subscribe box. Inside that we'll take a input fill, email, placeholder, enter your email, and we'll take this icon that's coming from here, send box, the class. Then we have to close the div. Then we'll come here, we'll take a div, it will have a class called subscribe box info, and inside that we have to take this p tag, and we have to display our text: discover, collection, and sell extraordinary NFT. OpenSea is the World first and largest NFT marketplace. So this is the text which I have copied from OpenSea. That's why you can see, and that's what I have in the design. Let's close the p tag, close this div, and close this div, close this div, close this one, and with that we are done with the entire footer JSX. So hope things are making sense to all of you guys. We have written all the code we need. So we have imported all the icons, imported the CSS file, logo. Then we have the entire JSX. This is the menu list we have. This is the entire JSX we have written. So you can simply close this one. This is for the social one, and this is for the help, and this is for the subscription. So we have 3 different components inside the footer box. So with that we are done with this entire JSX. Now we're going to start working on the CSS file. Target the footer. Width is going to be 100%. Padding block 1.25 RAM. Position is going to be relative. Margin top 10 RAM. Footer box social logo. Font size 5 RAM. Come down. We'll target the footer box social info. Margin top 3 RAM. Background linear gradient. We'll have this one. WebKit background clip and text. And then we have to say fill color transparent. Close this one, come down. Footer social icon. Background linear gradient. The same gradient color we are using here. Then we have to take WebKit text and web text fill color transparent. Looks good. Come down. Target the footer box. We'll say margin 0 auto. Display grid. Grid template column 1.3 FR, 1 FR and 2 FR. Align item flex start. Justify content space between. And gap is going to be 3 RAM. Come down. Let's add a social. Footer social. Display flex. Gap 1.3 RAM. Font size 1.5 RAM. Align item center. Come down. Footer social A. We have to say padding 0.5 RAM. Border radius 50%. Transition all 0.3 second easy in. Display grid. Color. And that's the social A. Then we have to target the footer social on over effect. We have to change the background color to a linear gradient. Then we have to change the color to white. Box shadow to our custom shadow color. Come down, we'll take a footer box help and subscribe 3. We'll say background linear gradient. We'll take the WebKit text and web text fill color to transparent. Subscribe box. We'll target the width 75%. Display flex. Justify content space between. Align item center. Padding 1.5 RAM, 2 RAM. Background linear gradient. We'll have the color to white. Border radius 5 RAM. Margin top 3 RAM. Come down. We'll take the subscribe box input. Background transparent. Border none. Outline none. Width 90%. Color white. Come down. Subscribe box input placeholder. Color white. Come down. We'll take the subscribe bot send send. Cursor pointer. Font size 2 RAM. Then we have to target the subscribe box info. Padding 1 RAM, 1 RAM. Background linear gradient. Target the WebKit text and we have to say transparent. Fill color transparent. Looks pretty good. And let's add a media query for the responsiveness. So we'll take this screen, max width 55 EM, footer box, grid template column 1FR, 1FR, gap 5 RAM. Then we have to come here, we have to take the second media query, max width 45 EM, and this will be the grid template column, sorry, with 90% grid template column, 1 FR, 2 FR. Then on 35 EM, we'll target the footer box, we'll say with 90% and grid template column 1 FR. So that's the entire media query we have written. Hope this entire thing makes sense to all of you guys. This is the footer we have. This is the footer social, info, icon, box, social anchor, over effect, help. Then we have the subscribe box, input. Then we have the placeholder, send, and this info. And this is the media query. So this is the entire thing we have written for our CSS. Hope things are making sense to all of you guys. Now we have to close this one, come back in the layout, and now we have to import the component. So let's import that, the footer, copy that one, and that's what we have to simply pass here. So we'll take a P, we'll say footer, and here we have to say footer and close this one, and this will work fine. So save it, come back here, reload the browser, and boom, here we have the footer, beautiful footer. We have this animation, we have this over effect, we have this beautiful gradient color on the text, this input fill, everything is looking absolutely phenomenal. So let's do the inspect element. You can see it's 100% responsive for mobile device as well. Let's bring this here, 100% responsive. You can check on multiple screens size, looks absolutely incredible. So things are making sense to all of you guys. Hope you guys have understood. We have built 4 biggest components so far. Now come back to the VS, and so that's the only thing I want to cover in this video. Hope you guys have understood that how we have built the entire logic for our footer component and how we have designed. So with that, I'm ending this video. In the next video, we will start working on the next component. So let's move that.